Hello, hello, hello. How you doing, everyone? You'll be hearing some sound in the background. You won't believe I'm actually in class at the moment. So I'm in class. I'm supposed to be there, so I can't get off it. I don't know how to make it mute. Oh, actually, I found out how to mute it. Yeah, I have to be in this class. But then, of course, the show has to go on. So, how are you doing? I hope you're all doing well. I know I look a bit flush. I've been ill for some days, but I'm getting better. So that's all that matters. Um, yes, we are going into edition 2 of the show, and I'm quite excited about it. So, what have I done today? Absolutely nothing. Because, as I said, I've been ill and I just was in bed sleeping, just catching up on getting my body to rest. Because I've got to be very early up in the morning tomorrow and Thursday. So, yes, life just, it has its ups, its downs, its middles, and all of that stuff. So, anyways, I already have two people waiting, and I'm so excited because I love it when people are waiting in the time. Like, okay, I'm just checking. Sorry, I'm not ignoring it, but it's just I have to be checking my class so I don't get into trouble. So, oh, I have a notification from somebody who is in the waiting room. Let me see what she's saying. Hmm. Oh yes, she said, "Yay, that we're back. That we're about to, get on." So, um, we're gonna bring the first person on. Hello, Lara Ba. How you doing,
Hey,
sweetie?
I'm very well. May I say I was admiring your lipstick. Is it lipstick?
Oh yes.
It
I
really
used
does look
I
nice.
used I used the lip liner, a coral lip liner, which is
Oh,
not my normal color. And then the
interesting.
lipstick is a kind of red. So the two of them
Yes, it looks
it's
really
given
nice.
kissy
It,
kissy.
yes,
It's
girlfriend.
it's given.
Yes. Yes. It really goes with your cheeks because your cheeks are naturally really
Oh well,
red.
of course, I've got the chipmunk chicks.
Yes, it looks
Yeah.
nice. It looks so nice. I was admiring it. I was like, girl, you're doing
Like it's
well.
giving kissy kissy. Oh, this generation and the things they say, it make me laugh. Like I was watching a program and it was like, you're giving the person was saying something. I was like, yeah, yeah, I get what you're trying to say, but you see, what you say right now, it's giving struggle. I was like, ah, shades,
Big
shade of
struggle.
the utmost
Was
order.
it like RuPaul's Drag Race or is it like RuPaul's Drag
No,
Race on the
no,
real
no, no.
thing?
It was a Hollywood film, and it was Bimbo Ademoye that actually said it. I remember she said the line, and the girl
Oh,
said sometimes she was like, "Yeah, I get what you're trying to say, but you see, what you just said now, it's given." And then she did her hands like this, she's like, "It's given struggle." I was like,
the way to sort of lift people up and then make them crash down.
I was like, if it's me, I would have sat down and be like, still finishments.
It's giving
The
me, it's
finishment
giving me struggle.
have happened. So anyway,
Yeah.
how's your day been? What have you been
It's
up
been
to?
good. It's been good. I've been working. There's so many different things I've been doing, but no, it's been good. It's been good. Yeah.
Good, good, good,
It's
good.
been good.
Actually, when we had our conversation, I actually spoke to Nana.
Yes.
I spoke to Nana about it, and I'm going to do precisely the same thing that I told you that I do. I'm going to do
Okay.
it to someone. So
All right. Okay.
I know I'm a bit petty, but it's
Uh,
okay. Well, while we're on that note, let me bring on. Not that she's petty, I beg. Before people say, "Hey, so she's petty," she's not. She's actually one of the sweetest people that I know, and I'm talking about Sasha. Hello, Sash. How you doing? Oh,
Thank you,
she's there for
Abby.
her shades.
Hello, I'm all right, thanks. How are you?
Yay.
Hi, Lara Banya. I hope I pronounced your name
Lara
right.
Just
Banana.
say Laraba.
Lara
Yeah, my
Banya.
name is Lara, but
I'll just call you Lara. Is that okay?
Why is Lara then Ba? That's what I tell
Uh,
people.
Lara Ba.
Lara.
Lara
Lara.
Ba.
Ba. Nah.
Yes. I always say it's like Lara Croft, then BA at the end.
Right. So how are you today, hon?
I'm very well. It's always a pleasure seeing you, Sasha. Sasha, you have a really calming presence with you.
Oh,
I'm
thank you.
telling you. Like
Mm.
when
Yeah.
you see her like this, your mind will just do cool.
Yeah, you're very, very calm. It's really nice.
It's all the
And
meditation I do.
that's
Exactly.
It's,
good. That's
it's,
That's one of the
good.
things. I mean, like, she's gotten
mm,
me quite interested in the Buddhist way of life because when I see
That's
her, she's
fantastic.
always calm. Like,
Yeah.
even when
ah,
situation is tense, and like we're part of a group stand up against racism, and
mm,
That's
there's a
fantastic.
lot of like protests and things like that because unfortunately
Appreciate it.
racism is something we're dealing with. Amongst
mm.
all the isms, we have every ism going on, and you still see
Yeah.
Sasha just calm in the midst of the storm.
In the eye of the storm.
Like
That's
it's
Yeah.
almost like she's going, Shanti,
Oh no, yeah.
The pillows help though at the in the
That's
background. I
right.
think the
Uh,
pillows, I
I'm
like
glad
them
roll
because
that
yeah,
that way.
yeah.
So how's your day been,
Mm.
Sasha?
Oh yeah, it's been good, thanks. Yeah, did some work from home.
Mm.
Just been out and done some more work with my class, and then just not long got in. What about yourself, Abby?
I am presently in class.
Oh, are you still in your class? Oh yeah, how
I'm
did
in
you
class.
drama? Is it your
Yeah.
drama class?
Yes.
How's that
They're
going?
Oh,
doing the showcase from the play A Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
so
okay.
I'm in class, but I'm also here.
yeah. I love that dressing gown, by the way.
It looks
This
really
it's
nice.
my
It looks so
hoodie. It's not
warm.
a dressing gown, it's a
Oh,
hoodie.
Oh,
You
oh,
know
it looks
those
very
so
oversized
comfortable.
hoodies?
Yes.
Yes,
cool.
that is what it is because my house is extremely cold. When my carer came, my carer was like, I was like, you can shake all you want. I'm not putting on the heater. Do you have money to pay? No. No, you better walk quickly so that you'll be warm.
Yeah, but it looks warm
Um,
though. That's the good
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
It
this
looks
is
really
warm.
warm.
I'm actually sweating a bit
Oh,
under it now.
it's all about the
It's
layers,
so
isn't
good.
it?
warm.
That's the money
Mm.
well spent then. If you're
Ah,
sweating.
I've
17
got an
pounds worth.
electric blanket I recommend as well. My friend gave me one. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
I
As long
have
as it
an
doesn't
electric
cook.
blanket on my bed. But the thing
Mm,
is that when I wear this to bed, Jesus. You see, if I mistakenly forget and I put the electric blanket on and then I go into bed with this, trust
mm.
2 hours later, I'm like, it's so hot.
It's one extreme to the
Oh,
other.
funny.
Exactly.
Mm.
So I don't even bother to put on the electric blanket because most of the time I'll just get into bed because once I
Mm.
come home,
Mm.
take off my clothes. This is what I'm jumping into because
Wow.
it's so
Yeah,
warm. It is cozy. It
it's
is
comfy.
stuffed. Very, very stuffed.
Yeah, the electric blankets there can be a killer. Like I'm just thinking because obviously I'm in Nigeria now and it's quite warm most of the time.
Mm.
But like I remember when I was in England that I would always put the electric blanket on high, but I would never be cold. That's the thing that was just so crazy. It was really good. I
Mm.
remember that electric blanket. But obviously it's a long time ago.
I actually prefer the British weather to the Nigerian weather because I remember
Mm.
when I
Really?
went to Nigeria,
Oh
hey,
yeah, I've said this.
I thought I was going to die. I was having minimum 4 showers a day.
Oh.
That
I,
can happen.
Cream. What is cream? Like I was just like cold water. Grrr. I ended up with a cold. I
Mm.
came back to
Oh,
UK with a cold,
okay.
and I also came
Because of
back
the
with
temperature.
malaria. Although I did not tell them at the airport, because if I told them at the airport that I had malaria, they would have put me in quarantine, right?
Exactly.
They would have
Mm.
shipped me straight to the fastest hospital, sealed the door, and waited for the malaria to go. I don't know why they treat malaria as if it's some plague.
Exactly. You know, the funny
Mm.
thing about malaria, it does depend on people, but usually if you take medication, you can be fine. Obviously, with other people, they can be serious, but the majority of people, they can take medication and they're fine. But I think it's
Mm.
people hear it and they're just scared. Malaria.
But they don't connect that there has to be a mosquito involved. You can't pass it by any other way. There has to be a
Exactly.
Mm.
mosquito
Yeah.
involved.
Mm.
It goes over the head.
But
Mhm.
has this thing ever
Mm.
happened to you that you've like maybe from the Caribbeans or from Nigeria? you travel, right? And you come, your luggage comes through customs, everything, and then you get home, and maybe you don't even open your box, like maybe for the first 2 days, because of course you're just trying to like relax, and you now open your box and you just see one mosquito just fly out. The mosquito is like, yes, I made it. I am jackpot.
I'm
Oh,
just glad that was what I thought. Imagine
I can't say if I've
I
heard that
get to
experience.
find out about
I
that.
have made it. I flew out of the country. I am
It's
now
actually,
an abroadee.
it's,
And next thing,
it
the cold will
survived the
just get to the
journey.
mosquito.
That is the funniest thing. Like, could a mosquito even survive British
I
weather?
have seen mosquito. Mosquito came out of my bag when I came back from Nigeria.
No
Like,
way.
you
Are you
followed me
serious?
here.
That is
I was like,
funny.
this one is not mosquito. This one is a witch.
Yeah. Like,
You sure it was a mosquito?
that is funny.
And then turned into something else. Like,
It was
yeah.
village
How would
people.
it survive
It
though?
was village people that followed me.
Yeah, I know, right? They said something. But how would like a mosquito survive in like such confined spaces? Something I
Please,
wonder.
if anybody has experienced it, can you please put something in the comment section, because I think it's the most hilarious thing.
Wait, so was it? But how was it? Was it that as soon as you open your box, or was it like you opened your box and then you waited, and then all of a sudden something came out?
No, I was opening my box. I opened my box. I still
Yeah,
remember because it was just funny to me. I said I was laughing, and I didn't even kill the mosquito. I was like, "Don't worry, when you step outside, because it was November, and of course it was getting cold by this time. I was like, don't worry, by the time you step outside, cold will kill you. I don't have to kill." You." So open my box, everything, open it, and next thing, this thing just flew out. I was like, it follows me.
That's so funny.
that is
There's no way you could
hilarious.
have recorded that actually.
Yeah. I can just imagine it flying out, and then by the time it gets to the cold air, it just drops, and it's like, no, I cannot put this.
No, because it's winter, he's
Oh,
going out now. And he just goes outside and he's like expecting sunshine. Yes, I've made it. Me too. I'm now an abroad person. I even travel without passport. Oh, check me
exactly.
out. What is going on?
He's like,
Do you think he would have made friends with like other British flies? It's like, what are you
Like,
doing here? You're
excuse me. Excuse me. Where are you from? Who are you talking to? I'm from the greatest land now. I'm from Nigeria. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Can you say it a little bit slower? Let's do this one. Well, why? If not that I'm cold there, I will punch you 1, 2, 1, 2. And then maybe
oh, God, you're making me cry.
The mosquito from the Caribbean will be like, why are you talking to? I like you on the island.
That would be hilarious, honestly. So even the mosquitoes
I'm
are
sure
wanting
anybody
to
who tunes into the show will be like, what is going on?
just because they're not used
Oh,
to it.
God, you're making tears to my eyes, Abby. That is the
I'm
funniest
sorry.
thing I've heard all
That
day.
is funny. I
I'm
want to see
sorry,
that
but
as like
let's
a
be
comedy or
realistic.
something.
But I think that every insect, animal, and everything, they all communicate, even though they don't speak like us. So I always believe that. This is my belief. That call me stupid, but I believe that every animal in whatever country speaks like the people there.
It can happen. Who
So if
knows?
a Jamaican, a
It's gonna
Jamaican
make a
elephant
Go on.
met an Indian elephant, they'll be like, "Oh, you come over here. What is going on?" You're like, "What's the problem with you, man? Don't you know who I am? I is the biggest elephant in the land, you know."
Oh, that would be fun.
Taking
Yeah, I
up
think about
Paris.
that though.
I'm taking up some ganja, man.
Imagine an elephant just smoking ganja. No, I always think like, imagine like a black panther and like a tiger making friends, like a black panther, so like a black Nigerian panther and like an Indian tiger. It's like, oh, I love meeting you.
Sorry, you guys continue. I have to put a comment on the class. We're about to finish.
Okay.
That show.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Hold on, guys.
No worries.
Okay, I think I can leave now. I finished.
You've been released.
I've been released. Yes, class
You've
is
been
over.
released.
It's done
Because
now.
I started roughly about 45 minutes ago.
Mm.
Okay.
So I missed the last part. So I'll just ask my classmates. So what happened now? Because funny enough, the play is something about two sisters. One is like a saint and Mary Mother of Jesus. Another one is a a her.
Why did that
Uh,
make me laugh so much? You were trying to be politically correct, like, oh,
I couldn't find the political, so I was
a
just like I just say it as
Charlotte.
it is. Uh, it's a.
uh, you were great as Puss
Oh,
in Boots, I tell you. I really enjoyed that. It just suited
I
you
can
down to the
imagine.
ground. I mean,
Oh,
your whole
you mean when
personality.
yeah,
Even your face, your little cute face and everything with the little whiskers.
she came to watch me in my play when in our play at
It's
college.
really good.
You've come. How many plays have you
Awesome.
come to see?
Let me think now. There was, what was the one before that?
Hansel and Gretel. Where
Oh,
was the witch? Did you come to that one?
did I come to that one? I can't remember. What other ones?
I've done where was the witch. I've
Mm,
done oof, I can't even remember.
I know, but you've done so much, though, haven't you?
I've done a couple,
Yeah,
but my favorite was the witch. Oh, I loved that.
really the bad way.
The witch at a point in time I was enjoying the witch character a little bit too much because so it's Hansel and Gretel, so I know
Okay.
Hansel is put in the cage, so and it was around November, so I now did a poster of a turkey where I put the picture of the boy acting as Hansel as the head of the turkey. And, and I said, let us give thanks for Thanksgiving turkey. My
How
sister
do you
was
Thanksgiving? Is that like American?
it's American,
Is
but British
Yeah.
now. We adopt everything America is doing.
mm.
Where America goes, Britain follows.
I know
Yeah,
this is the thing. We're so Americanized here in the UK now with a lot of stuff.
You think?
but some of us are still clinging very diligently to our British roots because our roots, our
Oh,
roots
British
are
root.
found in
What
boxes.
is the British roots? I seem to have lost. Well, that's the thing.
My roots are in
Mm.
Dokpemu.
You see, notice I was just being politically correct. I said, okay. So when you said where your roots, I said, okay, now I get you.
Uh,
Yes, I am diligently clinging to my British roots. My roots that are in Dokpemu. That's where I'm clinging.
what, in the
Your
pub every Friday night.
Dokpemu is where my family lives. So, Sasha, what British roots are you clinging on to?
Well, that's the thing. I don't really consider myself Black British, to be honest.
Kingston. Kingston.
Mhm.
That's where your roots are. Your
You
British
know, like,
roots are in
I mean,
Kingston.
ultimately, we're all African, aren't we? Which I'm just so firstly proud of.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Sister Bidu is saying, good evening, Abby and everyone. Sis, come and join us now. Don't just go into comment section. Join us. Come and join us. Come and join us. Mangalo Cruise is for you and me. Come on. I'm in a very silly mood today.
That's what I like you.
That was
Okay, so
funny.
I think we've faffed about a bit. We've had the fun.
Loosened up. Woo.
So now, yes, we've loosened up. So now let us dialogue way, as we say.
Dialogue. Let us
Let's
dialogue.
dialogue way. Let's dialogue
Dialogue.
way, or okay, because of Sasha, let's dialogue.
Because of Sasha. Oh my god.
Sasha is like,
Oh, don't get me started again. It doesn't take much encouragement.
and
Please.
because in case someone is going, Abby, are you sure you did take drugs? This is all I took. Oh.
Oh,
This is all I
that's
took.
Nigerian drink.
And it's
Orange
zero. It
juice.
doesn't have. This is
Ah,
this is our equivalent of you know Let me say it to you in a way you understand. I spy drink with a little bit of that ganja. You know what me talk?
It's the happy
You,
juice.
you got to hit me up with some of them, Abby. Yeah.
Your happy
Don't worry,
juice.
girl. When I see you outside, me I get you a couple of cans.
That's
They say
funny.
Nigerians and Jamaicans have the same roots completely. And
Well,
you're
yeah,
probably
because I went to watch this show. Right, it was at the Lowry. I forgot to invite you, Abby, and it was about the sort of journey, And it says what they did is they got this
Forgot to
petri
invite
dish. They mixed up the two, like Jamaicans, like the two strongest, sort of people.
Yeah, but someone
Mm.
saw me. One of my colleagues actually, I didn't
Mm.
know that all this while she thought I was Jamaican because I saw her last week and she was like, "Oh, I was
Mm.
at your country. I went there on holiday." So I was like, "Ah, you went to Lagos?" She was like, "No, Jamaica." And I'm like, "Lady, how?"
Jamaica.
I just said, "How?" She was like, "Auntie Jamaican." I'm like,
Mm.
"Was I giving
Jamaican vibe.
Vibe. Yeah,
I
very
didn't
similar.
mind, anyways.
My dad, he's still got very dark. My dad, you can
Right.
see,
My friend Pam,
and my
I love
granddad as
talking
well.
to her dad because her dad's Jamaican accent is so strong and delicious to hear.
Food. I feel like Jamaican food is underrated. The first time I tried Jamaican food, I was
Mm.
like, huh? You've been hiding this?
But
It's
people
Jamaican
know that
food.
Jamaican food is off the hook.
it is
Yeah.
delicious.
I don't understand this underrated thing you're talking about because their food is raining.
Yeah, the food is raining, but I don't feel like it's. I'm thinking about like when you tune into like cooking channels and it's just like a cucumber and a plate, or it's like jerk
Which kind
rice
of
or
cucumber on a
something.
plate?
No, but like you see these people try to cook. Thing is, ever since I've been in Nigeria,
Cucumber on a plate.
I've
It's
realized I've become a food snob. I've become
Oh,
a food snob. I realized two things. Nigerian and Jamaican food are probably up there in cuisine. Like
No,
Nigerian,
you see,
Caribbean, and
this is
Eastern.
one thing I've come to realize. Everybody
What?
thinks that their food is the best. But when you
hmm.
not like when I've gone with some Chinese friends, so authentic Chinese
Yeah.
restaurants, and
Hmm.
their food, I'm telling you, the difference between their food and Nigerian food, just a couple of things. Just
Hmm.
they eat pomo, they use
Really?
locust beans,
Hmm.
they use palm oil. I'm telling you.
Really?
I'm telling you. If
Oh.
you go to, you see these Chinese restaurants that we go around, these fake, these are the fake ones
That
that they
makes
just give
sense.
you. But if
Yeah,
you go to
yeah.
authentic Chinese
Mm.
place, except if you
Mhm.
walk into a place and you see the citizens of that place sitting and
Yeah,
eating,
yeah.
that
You
is
see Chinese
authentic.
Mm.
people, it's authentic. I've always, but to be fair, I tried authentic Italian pizza and it was just sublime. It
That's
was
the
fresh.
thing. So
Yeah.
when you
It
now go
was
and eat
very
the
fresh.
Oh, completely
authentic food
different.
of the people,
Yes, yeah,
you'll be
that's
Mm.
like,
true.
okay, okay, okay. This
I
one too
get what
makes
it.
sense. It makes
Yes,
sense.
yeah. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
I'm bringing on Sister Nina. Long time no see. Good evening.
In fact, you really impressed me with your Chinese food because I don't normally go to Chinese and I don't like that food because I'm always scared. When you get to their shop, you don't see where they cook the food. You don't see where everything is prepared. They just bring us. I said, these people must be winch.
No,
You know,
the kitchens are usually at the back.
I don't trust. I don't trust those Chinese restaurants you go to. The one you are calling, they're fake. As you rightly said, they're fake. So I don't trust them. I can't go there. I don't know how they.
Well, I need
Mm.
to take you to an authentic place
Yeah, I'd like to try that. I've only
because
ever
if
had buffets.
Sasha, let's make a date and go, and then we will
Yeah.
Instagram it. Because I'm telling you, when you see I was like, this is pomo now, and on top
Mm.
of
Don't look
rice
that
with
other.
pepper, I was like, sure,
So if
and
Yeah.
so nice.
it
I
is
don't
My
really
okay,
have
favorite food is
Chinese
Japanese.
here in
food that
our
often.
So,
Mm.
Sister Bidu, have you ever traveled and come back to Nigeria, opened your box, and you found a village person by the shape of a mosquito fly out.
You know, I've never experienced such a thing.
Somebody must. I can't be the only one. Somebody must have
I
experienced.
know I've never heard that story. Yeah, funny enough.
What do you mean by flying out like mosquito? I don't understand what you mean really,
No,
but
like you open your box when you come back from Nigeria and you find
yeah,
mosquito flying out.
no, no.
Ah,
Hmm.
hey, so it's village people that followed me through.
Excuse me, you are right. For you to have mosquito coming out of your box when you get back to UK, you must be careful
Ah,
because
Hmm.
you never be so careless for your box to be exposed to mosquito to hide in there and bring it to UK. Then until you get to UK, you discover there's mosquito in your box. So either you believe it or not, that's voodoo, I think.
ha. Hey,
Oh.
God, oh.
No,
This
it's true.
Nigeria that put the fear of God in me.
No, it's true. How can someone get access to my box, or how will I leave my box that mosquito can hide inside my box and I take it back to the UK to discover that I have mosquito? No.
Me, to be
You
honest,
don't
I didn't even.
experience.
It amused me. It amused me. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, you follow. But I just felt it's one of those things that can happen that
Excuse me.
something either an
It might
ant or
be
whatever
funny.
or something
It
is
might
in
be
your box.
funny. Believe it or not, it has something to do spiritual because
Hell,
yes,
Ah,
I'm here
okay.
I
this.
hope that mosquito
Yes.
froze to death. Either oh God. Now
Or
that and it's a bit too late to start praying for that
okay,
mosquito.
next time when you are traveling, always keep sea salt inside your box.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Keep sea salt or you use alligator pepper. Put some canned salmon and put inside your box.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Is that for spiritual purposes or is that for just okay?
They won't have any way to your they won't have access near you.
Hmm.
Because they want to
Hey.
penetrate your life. That's why some people have you see that some people
Sea
will
salt.
travel to Nigeria coming back to UK, they have problem with their working place, they have problem with many things, even the accommodation. It is then the
I
government
felt
will see
ill
also
when I
what
came back. That's when my illness started.
you see now.
So
And
you mean that I actually
then
imported a village person inside my box?
I was brought up I was brought up in the because my mother ran the canteen when we were young. So when we discover flies, flies can be flying around, but when it comes to abnormal, I'm telling you, that week or that month, all food cooked in that shop will be wasted. We won't see
Hmm.
Ah.
anybody to patronize. Yes. So they said it was
Okay,
an
we
attack.
will continue this conversation in the inner sanctum. So let
In
us
that
go to the
comes.
topic into the the bottom parts of the show. Larava is like,
You're dealing
do
with
I
both.
want to be here right
You
now?
No, I'm just taking it in. I'm just the observer.
Sasha is
you are the
Hindu, so she's
spokesman.
Buddhist, so she knows a lot
I've
of
never
this.
I've never been bullied, and the only experience I had, which I can say it is at the bus stop, and that was during the time of Brexit or no Brexit. So when they finally come out of the European, so some guys just attack me on the bus and say, "Hey," I said, "Look, I will slap you. I don't know. I don't care what will cost me. Is it because you are now on your own? So you're out of EU. You think you can be talking to anybody anyhow?" He just come closer to me and say, "Hey." I said, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "I will slap you." Everybody was looking at me. I dropped the boys with his trousers. I said, "Look, I will kick you up. I will show you that I'm an African woman." So the
No,
Yes.
I mean, you went for the family jewels, so I think there was no way he was going to be misbehaving. All he
Mhm.
was hoping that his bloodline would be preserved after his encounter with you.
I
Ah,
always told her, I said, "I'll be
Ah.
comfortable in my country. We send me back my country. I can slap you and I don't blog. I don't give a damn what will come out of it." All of them are looking at me at the bus stop. Me that
Mm.
I've been working, that time the work I was doing was so tedious then. I was doing 30 minutes there, 15 minutes there, 1 hour there. I was so stressful, waiting for bus to catch you to go to the next class, and the boy just to come to me. I said, "Ah, look, if your mother don't train you, I will train you here."
Yeah, I
They
get
are
that.
here
I
because
completely get that.
there are three of them. No, see,
Yes.
I don't see. It's
The
when you
only
people are
thing that sort
afraid
of
of.
frustrates me, the thing
Yeah,
that frustrates me in this country or even amongst people, whether it's online or in real life, is when people see an injustice happening and it's like everybody starts to look a different way and like, oh, don't worry, the person looks like they can handle themselves. It's not the
Mm.
fact that whether they can handle themselves or
Agree.
not, but is that that person is not left alone to deal with an injustice.
Mm.
I mean, I've been told, I was actually talking to Nana this afternoon, and I was saying that to Nana. I said the thing that annoys me the most is when somebody is doing something bad to me, right? It's like how Laraba is now. As I say, oh, look at Laraba with her bald head, and I start cussing her out. And the two of you know that what I'm saying is not fair. But you now say, Laraba seems like a strong character. She can hold her own. So you now keep
Yeah.
quiet. That Laraba, tell me whether you will feel at a point that am I the crazy one? Maybe there's really
Yeah.
something wrong with me because the other two people didn't say anything. They just let Abby say whatever she wanted to say. So
Mm.
maybe Abby is right. Even though inside of you know that I'm not right. But because they didn't say anything, you will
Yeah.
start to
Yeah.
wonder whether I
Mm.
was right or not. And that's the thing that infuriates me the most. It's not even the bully or the person that is trying to,
Yeah.
it
Exactly.
is the people who enable them with
Complacency.
silence.
Yeah, the complacency. I think that that's a very relevant point because sometimes, and I think the thing is that you can tell that with some people that they want to say something, but they don't know how to say it. And,
Mm.
to be honest, if I'm to play the devil's advocate, sometimes, in certain situations like that, it is difficult to say something, especially if the other person is maybe, say, threatening. But at the same time, it is cowardice. I mean, no matter how you look at it, it is cowardice. Um, and it's just a case of, people need to be called out for their bad behavior and not necessarily just be left to just, to do something just because they can. But
Yeah.
it's, because I was thinking about it the other day, like, I think the thing with bullying is people don't really know how to deal with it. And it's funny because in the school environment, something that I've encountered, but also I know people have encountered, is that sometimes teachers can also be bullies and
Mm.
kind of reinforce. And it's so frustrating and it's so annoying because you're just like, do you not see that you have power and leverage over the situation and you're making it worse? And
Mhm.
so sometimes in those sort of situations, you don't really know what to do. But I also think that sometimes people need to be able to know how to defend themselves. And communicate in a communicative way, and if need be in a physical way, because if you're able to do one of or both of those things, then you can kind of get that power back. So that would maybe something to think about maybe in this
Oh, yeah, but
discussion.
that's in the case of a higher power. I'm talking
Mhm.
about when it's amongst your peers. So these are people like yourself who have come together and they
Mm,
see something that is unfair happening.
mm,
And instead of, because this is the thing, even if I don't like someone, let's say for instance, I don't like Sasha. I
yeah,
personally am not a fan of hers. But then I see something, I see where Sister Bidu is bullying Sasha where I am. I won't keep quiet and be like, well, she deserves it. That's a problem. I'll still speak up because at that point in time, it's not about Sasha. It's about the principle of
bad behavior.
something
Yeah,
bad is happening. It
yeah,
is only right that I speak up against it and go, you know what? This is not on. You can't do
mm,
that to this person, because there's this poem that is being used a lot, and I think Sasha, you saw it, about they came for the Jews, I said nothing. They came for the politicians, they came for this, I said
Mm.
nothing. They came for that, I said nothing. And then when they came for me, nobody said anything.
yeah.
Because it
That
it
happened
comes
as well.
around eventually.
Yeah,
You know.
that's happened in history. Yeah. Mm.
So Sasha, have you had
Mm.
any
Well,
peer, because this is the
yeah,
peer edition, have you had any peer kind of bully
well,
or intervened?
Yeah, the thing is, it's like having peer pressure, isn't it? Like when I went to secondary school, anyway, my older sister was there with me because she's like 3 years older, so she kind of looked after me and all the friends. But I did have that whole thing because me and my friend, we didn't follow, like the sheep, like everybody else was. So there was the comments and stuff like that saying, "Oh, you used to," but I never really let it bother me, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
Like, yeah, I think it's hard though when you're a teenager and you're going through these different, obviously, as teenagers do, like all your hormones and everything. Like, and yeah, kids can be very cruel as well.
I find it interesting when people say things like, "Oh, this happened, but it never really bothered me." Because to me, when you use that phrase, it means it bothered you to some points. Maybe not as greatly
Mm.
as it would bother somebody else,
I
but
didn't react to it, but yeah.
you might not react to it, but it will bother you because in your own private place, you would think and go, "What the hell did I do to you to
Mm.
deserve this kind of behavior?" There's no how.
Mm.
When someone comes to you or comes at you, and you know for a fact that you did not do anything, as a human being, you will be like, "Ah, what did I buy in this person's market that I didn't pay? That they're not coming for me?" Sister Ibido, I remember an instance somewhere where someone attacked you. You said something and someone attacked you
Mm.
You mean
because
the
you said,
pastor
"Oh,
that said?
nobody has bullied me," and I wanted to pull you up on it and go, "No, someone tried. They did not succeed, but they tried in an adult way to."
Really? You know what? See, I think you are more educated than me, and you know more of English than me. And I would like you to put me through, like an instance where you work in a care home, and because you go there to work as an agency, and the permanent staff just work towards it. Oh, you do this, you do that, oh, you cannot bully or what do you think? And when
Yeah,
you
I'd
do
say
it,
that's
you haven't done it properly. There's a lady that did that to me when I was working outside London. In fact, when you know me, you know that I'm not a patient person. I mean, I'm not a cool-headed person like that. So when she behaves, everybody fear this lady, and they always say that she has done this to make manager send some people away. When she got to me, oh my goodness, she wept like a baby. I said, "Look, what do you call your name?" I said, "Look at me very well. If you trespass here, I'm going to crumble you, crush you, and bend you because you're bloody witch." Everybody just look at me and say, "Hey, you talk to this lady." I said, "What will she do?" She said, "You call me witch." I said, "Yes, you are, because you can't just be bullying me. You are just the same age. Even you're not up to my daughter. So don't talk to me because I come here to work through agency." He said, "I'm going to the office." I said, "Go there, go and report." When the manager heard me, because they are all India, Pakistan, he said, "Oh, what did you do to this lady?" I said, "I call her witch because this is what she did, and I will not tolerate that. If you want me to leave, I'll leave." The manager looked at me. She said, "Okay, I'm sorry, but the only thing I have to keep quiet is that it's the director that bring you here, so I don't have anything to say." I said, "Okay, that's fine. If you have anything to say, report me to."
You actually told the person, "I called them a witch."
I
I
can't hear
called
you.
her a witch.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
No,
No,
Yeah,
is
I
it?
heard you.
I can't hear you.
No, you've come back. It's a bit low though.
Yeah,
Sister
yeah.
Bido is very low
Mm.
where you are. We can't hear you very
Mm.
well. But I heard
Oh,
when she said that she
okay,
called the
maybe.
person a witch.
This is the way she
Yes,
went to the say, yes, I called her a
A
witch.
witch.
call that
I
witch
love
because
it.
anybody she attack in that company, it has to be sent away. That day I was so angry. I just took my bag because they gave me one room in that building. I said, "Look, I'm leaving your job. If you think that without working here, I will be starving or I won't see any food to eat." I said, "People are hungry, looking for me in London. For me to travel down here to come and work, you are very, I mean, let me say you are very lucky." They look at me and say, "Wow." I said, "Yes, ask your man, ask your director who brought me here." When they reported me to the manager, I said, it gives me a lot of stress before I could get this woman. Please don't send her away. Don't just talk to her. Just leave her. If she does anything, just come to me. I said, look, you don't know what you are doing. If you write English, you're writing rubbish. If you speak, you are speaking rubbish. If I talk to you, you don't understand. I will say, yeah, sure. What is sure here? And when I do something, you complain. I said, look, I will take my bag. Don't give me headache. I know what I'm doing. So I decided to work
Exactly.
alone. When I keep parabolating in 28 residents, I've done almost 10 all alone. Because they
Hmm.
are so sluggish, I don't even understand
Yeah.
how to compose a jar to make the work. And
Okay,
because you
Sasha,
speak the
what
same
would you
language, you
call
think you
that?
can gang up.
Is it bullying?
That's what I'm saying. That's what will you call that one? Do you
It
call that one bullying?
sounds
That's what
like
I'm
a
asking
problem.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's why I'm asking Sasha. Sasha, what would you call it?
It does sound like it to me. It's the control thing though, isn't it? Like, people who have power, like you just said, Abby, like sometimes they just abuse it, don't they? They don't use it in the right way.
Yeah, I would think that
Like
that's
a manager.
bullying, and also that bandwagon thing where
Mm.
I don't feel any type of ways about you, but then because Laraba told me I don't like Sasha, then me too, I don't like you.
Mm. That's
So
quite
you
dangerous.
haven't done anything to me, but
Mm.
because my friend doesn't like you, me too, I don't like you.
Mm.
Oh.
Because my friend, you know that thing, and I always thought it ends in secondary school.
Mm.
No.
But I found out that it doesn't end in secondary school. It
No.
Even
No.
continues.
it happens in the church, in the house of God where
Mm.
you see people gather together to worship. If anybody is fighting you in the church, someone will support you to go and gang against others. They do it in the church.
Yeah.
So not
It's just
only in
what
the
human beings are. Mm.
Sister Yemi Bajabiamila is saying, good evening, Abieno, hand pink waving. So she's waving to everyone. So they say good evening to her. I'm saying she should join us, please.
so why you're
So,
talking of bullying or no bullying, that's only way nobody
but,
can
but
bully.
yes, it happens everywhere. So just like you said, in church, again,
Mm.
I've come to church to come and worship God. How I came to church, you don't know.
Mm.
Oh,
My relationship with God, you don't know. That
that's
things
what I
happen a
preach.
lot
That's
when
what
I
I
was a
preach
young,
last
when I was, you were
That's
saying,
what I
sis?
said it in my preaching last week. I said you came to church with one small bag of problem, and if care is not taken, you will end up carrying Ghana must go trouble to your house. So you better focus on the author. Like yes, don't look at what this one say or what that one is doing. First your business, first your God. Don't look at what someone is saying. Don't look at how someone is addressing you. Just you don't find anybody to church. You come to see God, not human being. Forget about
Mm.
it. And that's me. They say, oh,
It's one
Mama,
of the reasons why I stopped
will
going
cry.
to church. One of the
Mm.
many reasons. Because
Uh,
I remember going to church here in the UK. So I'm not a child, I'm an adult. But again, when I found out one thing, especially with our people, when they see someone looking small, once you look younger than your age, you look small, you don't have a husband, you don't have children, then automatically you're not worth
And
being given respect.
you don't have
Mm.
Yashali property.
And if you don't have your passport, like in the UK here, you don't have your passport,
Exactly,
you
you are
don't have
not
your
working.
leave, you don't drive a particular kind of car, or you don't have a car at all, you don't look, you're not wearing a particular kind, you're not in designer, then you're not worthy of respect. And and people take that as an opportunity to speak to you sideways, like and you just
Mm.
wonder, like, wow, this is supposed to be church. I remember one time, and God, I've got so many stories. I remember one time, I love mini dresses. I love mini dresses. And
Ah,
I bought a yellow mini dress from Primark. It was on sale. And I bought it. It was a mini dress. I felt very cute. I had my belt on. I felt very, like I felt good about myself and everything. And then my taxi drove in, going into the church, and somebody else was coming from no, she was ahead of me, and my taxi was after hers. And she came down, and then she saw that I was the one in the taxi. So then she now stood. So I looked up. I was like, "Why is she standing there?" So I was talking to the taxi guy. Everything he was saying, "Oh, he was just asking me what's going on." I said, "This church." Da, da, da. So I still sat in the taxi because I was having a conversation with the guy. They eventually paid him and everything, and I came out and I saw that the lady had moved from where she came down from taxi to the door of the church, but she stood there. So I was wondering, maybe she's waiting for somebody or whatever. And I started walking towards the church, and I got to the doors, and she was like, "Hey, Abby, this your dress is long, go."
Long.
That
Yeah,
one
she
is
was being sarcastic. I was wearing a
Ah.
bully.
Oh, okay, yeah.
yes, yes. That one is
This your
even
dress
better.
is long, go.
Abby, excuse me,
And I
sorry
looked at her and I
to
just said,
interrupt you.
so she said it, and then she wanted to turn to walk away. And I said, "Hey, come back." So you know you have a problem. I'm telling you, I was like, you have a problem. You came to church to come and worship
Exactly.
God. You abandoned your primary mission to come and stand there and be talking about the length of my dress. That's why I didn't have a mirror in my
Exactly.
house.
I wonder. Oh,
Would it kill you? Would it kill you to mind your business?
oh.
And I just, so she just
Abby,
stood there because she didn't
Abby,
expect that I was.
it
And that's the
happened to
thing.
me
A
like
lot
that
of these
too.
bullies, they
I went
never
with
ever
me.
Yeah,
think
exactly.
that you will respond.
Oh, definitely. And then when you do, then they're like, huh?
Then they are shocked.
She's been disrespectful, oh. What did I
Eh,
do? What did I
My
do?
own experience, I 1 minute just as you did. Oh, you need to see this, my tiny body, looking cute, young lady in the church. The pastor invited just take microphone. I said, some people will be coming to judge us. I said, I don't even bloody. It was then I moved forward. See that in the front. When they are doing offering, I was the one that does very well. I'm telling you. When she talk, I talk. When she got a Bible passage and back it up, she said, "Madam, are you a preacher?" Then Pastor Balogo said, "Yes, he is." He said, "Oh, mommy, I would like to see you after service. I won't wait for you because I know she's preaching about me." She said, "When you be coming to church as a child of God, your mode of dress, that's not my name.
Anyways,
Let the one who have come to
it's so
serve, don't
patronizing.
join." Yeah.
but it's
And I never
It's so
use that
hypocritical
patronizing.
word to
also.
behave
It
to me.
is. It
Yes.
is so
After service, I'll
hypocritical.
just say, "Oh, Daddy, thank you for your administration. I will see you later. I will visit you in your church one of these days." The time I went to church to preach, she was look like this. Said, "Look at this woman." The day I went to their church, you see the way she dressed. I said, "The way I dress doesn't concern you."
Do you know
Yes,
what I have
it
in
is
my
my
wardrobe?
inner man that
Exactly.
God needed. Did that dress in this way to come and entertain me
Yeah.
in the church? No. I'm not a young
Yeah.
lady. I just feel like dressing that way. It was summertime. Oh, you need
Yeah.
to see me. You
You
say,
know,
is this woman going? People who knows me say, "Oh, I don't know that you're the one going. I thought it's a young girl."
yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
people
young
need to
girl.
look
What
at
do
my
they
mode of
mean?
dress.
Laraba, you were about to say something.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think from what I've realized is that a lot of bullying, because, I have my own church stories. Well, and I do like some aspects of church, but it was just so funny one time. I mean, at that time, I didn't really have that much confidence to say anything. But there was one woman, I was just basically going up and down. She was like, "Why are you going up and down? My spirit is so uncomfortable with you." So I was just like looking at her and I said, "What?" It's like, "My spirit is so uncomfortable with you." But I think the thing is that most of the time it comes from a place of insecurity. And when you are secure in yourself, and when you have enough pepper to flunk, then that is when they now recoil and then they're shocked. But I think that that's part and parcel of who bullies are. They're underconfident people. They're not people who are self assured. You know.
And I
So
think
I
that
think
is
that's
why they need a group. That's why they
that's
need to have the
true.
assurance that there are people like themselves
Yes.
who will back up their
Yes.
behavior.
Oh, that's one thing that I can't stand though. Like I was telling, remember Abby, when on Sunday I was telling you, it's like cockroaches. You see one cockroach, you squash them, and they're like five just come out. It's the same sort of thing. It's the same sort of thing. They're all coming in gangs. But like I said, it's just a case of just understanding it. That is foolish people. But life is just high school. Life is high school.
That's the thing. And that is why I think it's important that people who see bad things like that happen, we can't
Yeah, that's
afford
true.
to be quiet. Now, I
Hmm.
know that I've been in situations where did Sister Ibidu go? Okay. I've been in
Um,
situations where I've spoken up for someone, and then something else, and I speak out, and then people are like, is it only you? And I'm like, but should I be the only one? Aren't you ashamed that you are not actually saying something? Aren't you
yeah.
ashamed that you are watching somebody else just say, you know what, this is not fair. This is not. And do you know what annoys me the most? Oh my God, it is a pet peeve of mine. So anybody who has done this, just hear this now. You see something bad happen in a group. You not say anything, no. You not come and meet the person privately. Ah, I saw
Yeah.
that thing that
That is
happened. That
cowardice.
thing is
Yeah.
bad. I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it for some people because I do have some friends who I know that they're not talkers like that.
Yeah.
So they will
That
rather
is.
come quietly and come and say something to you. I get those. But you see those who are loud mouths and then they will not talk
Yeah.
anything, no, they'll not come and meet you privately. Ah,
Yeah.
that thing that happened, is not good. It's not good. I wish you did. I wish you they
Yeah.
said that you cannot do anything that be.
It's true though. It's true. But the thing is, because I know that in schools they kind of like encourage people who are being bullied to stand up. But like it takes a lot to be fair, if I'm playing the devil's advocate, it takes a lot of courage to actually stand up because if you think about animal and herd instinct, you don't want to be the vulnerable person. But then maybe it's also about thinking, okay, how can I stand up for someone who is being oppressed right now in a way that doesn't sort of undermine myself, because I know that that may sound selfish, but I think Abby, you've maybe been able to do that, so maybe that's something you can share so that your listeners can know.
Because I don't want to take over the conversation. Because again, I want everybody to. But I think the thing is, number one, I really don't think about myself when I see somebody being attacked. All I'm
Yeah.
saying is an injustice,
Mm.
and I'm like,
That's
this is
true.
an injustice. It shouldn't be allowed to stand. I honestly, and I think that is where maybe my fault. I don't have restraints. I don't have any restraints in like, let me wait and see whether somebody will say something. But then, I just go, what's this? Then later on, I realize that, wait, to.
You could get yourself into
I'm already
trouble.
getting myself into trouble. It's not even against something I could. I'm not like,
But it's good though. It's a good attitude to have, but it's also because like
it's
I've
not.
been.
It's not a good attitude, Jare. You keep entering trouble.
But the thing is, to be honest, I have obviously been in situations where I wish, and it's painful, especially if it's family members. I think that's also another thing.
It's
Because I
very
think
complicated.
if it's friends, it's one thing. If it's family members, then it's a whole, because these are people who are your blood. But sometimes with some family members, it's like, oh, well, we have to keep the peace. We have to be the better person. Or, it's not. And it's just like, come on, I would do this for you. Why won't you do this for me? But I think that the thing is, I think that there needs to be like either a workshop or something. Because there was this experiment called What Would You Do? I don't know if you guys
Ah,
have heard of it, but basically,
yes.
what happened? Oh, fantastic! So basically, for those who haven't heard, it's basically people who are being put in scenarios, in awkward scenarios. So bullying happens, somebody's been racially profiled, and people kind of see, how people react. That so obviously they're actors. So there was one specific incident, and I thought this was a typical British response. Basically, there was a guy that was being I think it was a guy or a girl. She was black, or they were black anyway, and they would be racially profiled. Some people just didn't say anything. Then obviously when they came out, they said actually this was an experiment. So many people were saying actually, I wanted to say something, but I didn't know how to. Then obviously people came out. There were other people that came out, but I think it's also a cultural thing. I think that's the thing. Americans are very much forthright, whereas British people tend to be reserved.
I don't know if you remember in London, that bus driver that they were attacking, and the entire bus, they attacked it was in the papers about a year or 2 years ago. The bus driver was being attacked, and people sat down in the bus, waited for the bus driver to be beaten up, and we're waiting for him to keep driving. Like, hey, I was like, the way I will kick everybody off my bus. Like, are you mad?
But it's difficult though. This is the thing, Abby.
Which one is it difficult? The man that is driving all of you is being attacked and you said that.
But I think that there are ways to differ. Because, like, to be honest, I think it's different if it's like a verbal beatdown. I think that's something that people should step into. But if it's like physical aggression, and if a person is vulnerable, it's going to be very difficult. Like, let's not pretend. But I think that's where learning comes in. Because I think
people attacking one bus driver, and a bus filled with at least 20 people could not, at least 3 people could get up. And they sat there waiting for him to be beaten up, and then he would drive them.
To call police.
Yeah, you see what? Yeah. Yeah,
but do you know that they've actually done a research that these days, in today's social media days, that something will be happening and everybody will be saying, somebody call 911, and they're all holding their camera filming.
Yeah.
And everybody shouting, somebody call 911, and nobody calls. Somebody is messing around with something. Can you hear it? Something is pushing about.
Really.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything.
Okay, let me mute. Let me mute everybody and see. It's Sasha. The noise is coming from your end.
Oh.
Sister Yemi, see, she's not here. Oh, she's in the comment section. She was like, "Not me." Can it be you from the comment section?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's very interesting what you just said.
Yeah. Go on, Sasha.
Yeah, I was just thinking when you just said about family, right? Because I'm in this kind of situation, like when one family member doesn't talk to another. Now, I don't know if you would say this is kind of bullying, but when you're meant to take sides, and it's like one family member's like slacking off another family member, and I just don't say anything, and then they're like, sort of like saying, "No, you should agree," and they're getting, you know what I mean, like angry. Would you say that's like kind of bullying you to sort of agree with them?
Take sides.
Well,
yeah.
There are ways to it, and take this from somebody who has dealt with that kind of situation. There are ways to it. This is the thing. My family knows me. I'm an equal opportunity offender. I don't care whether he's old or young, male, female, whatever. Whoever has offended, that's the person I'm going to be like, you have offended. So I always say, and there's this saying, there are 3 sides to every story. This person's version, that person's version, and then the truth. So the thing that I do is I always ask questions from both sides. Yoruba people have a saying, you don't listen to one side of a story and then judge. Sister Bidu, I'm sure you know the saying, and where jo apá kan ká fi dájọ́. That's how you say it in Yoruba, but it's basically saying you
I
don't
beg that
listen.
Nekoja.
The
To one
another way
side.
to say it, basically, you don't listen to one person's side of the story and then say, "Oh yes, this is my judgment." You have to listen to both sides, hear what the case is, and
Agbẹjọ́
then
Nekoja
judge.
gbọ́ ṣe
So
Chinese.
if Sasha, if two members of your family are having an issue and you know what the issue is and you know where the fault came from, I would be offended if you know and then you're going, "I don't want to be involved." Because trust me, I will store it. Me, I'm petty like that. I will store it. The day your own comes, me, I'll be like, "I don't want to be involved." Let's see how you like it.
What about? Yeah, but what about if you think that they've both? Because I mean, the thing is, like the saying
Then
goes, it
tell
takes.
both of them. Both of you are at fault. Leave me out of it.
Because my friend
But
says to
not
me, you
when
know
one
what? She's
person
just
is at
leave.
fault.
Yeah, she's just leave them to it. Do you know what I mean? I get on with both of these people in the family. I don't want to fall out with either of them by agreeing with one and then not the
Yeah.
other. I think they've both, basically.
I understand what
Yeah.
Sashi. I
Yeah,
understand what
but
you're
you
saying.
can say the truth and not fall out with anybody.
Yeah.
You are fighting so and so. Oh yeah, tell me your own side of the story. You did that, you said that, and you think that the person, if it's me, I will slap you. Let me just tell you now, what you said is not right. That's not fair. Oh yeah, you tell me your own. So that's what happened. Away,
But
you owe that person an apology, just so you know. But
Yeah, I just don't want it to affect the relationship, with one family member. Because I don't want to take sides. This is the thing. I mean,
But the thing is that is the way
I mean,
to me, is the way you tell what is going on. When they realize that, look, you're just being factual. That's why I love the way my dad trains me. That my dad trained me not to be emotional, but to be very logical, to approach things with logic. So if I'm approaching you with facts, how can you be angry with me that I came to you with facts now? I didn't
but
come with
you
you with
may,
emotion.
but you may think it's facts. But I think it's also a case of the reason for me. If there were two people feuding in my family, truth be told, I wouldn't really get that much involved. But I would try to sort of be as understanding to both people because
I'm a
I have a
nosy
separate
person.
relationship with. Because I think first of all, I think there's a difference between standing up for somebody who is clearly being attacked. Like so for let's say for example, Chris Rock and this Will Smith. Chris
Hey
Rock
God,
was
we are back
attacked.
to Chris Rock again.
I'm just using it as an example. But the thing is that if somebody's being attacked verbally, then you have to kind of say, that sort of thing. But if it's like an ongoing feud, like I don't like to think that I hold grudges, but yes, there are some people in my life that I know if I were to sit with them, they would have their grievances with me and I would have my grievances with them. But Abby, I wouldn't expect you to kind of intervene because there's so much that would have happened between me and the other person that for us to now all expand and everything. So I think that personally for me, whether I would get involved in that situation, no, because at that time, people are not, firing at each other. And so like what would I say? What would anybody say? So I think it's about prudence, but I think it's also about analyzing the situation because sometimes because bear in mind, this is the thing though, Abby, sometimes if you say the wrong thing to both of those people at the same time, they can band up and then turn their anger on you as well.
I know this
which
is
can
it.
happen.
Yeah,
No,
So
but
you have to be
this
very
is the
wise.
thing. If you and Sasha now are my siblings and both of you are fighting, and I see what's going on there. Especially if like my younger siblings and both of you are fighting, I'm like, what's going on there? And this one he knocks me there. No, that one kicks me there. Come on, with both of you, stop that nonsense. But then if I'm not there, you have fought, you have insulted each other left, right, and center. Then you now call me, Abby, what do you think? You called me, oh, I'm minding my
Exactly.
business. You
Yeah.
called me. So if you
Yeah.
call
That's
me
different.
and I
Yeah,
give you
exactly.
my answer, you now vex.
Yeah.
So
Then it
if
would
you
be
don't
that's
want
the
to
point.
hear truth, leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes people, the thing with feuds is they last for a long time. But then, maybe there's a possibility at some point if you were to reconnect that you would kind of get over that feud. So I just think it's a case of choosing your battles wisely, because I think the thing is that you can't always rescue people sometimes. And I think the thing that I've learned about life, especially when it comes to bullying and when it comes to all these different things, that people also need to rescue themselves. No,
I'm
I
sorry,
mean
Dr. Senu is yabbing me.
what did he
He's
say?
yabbing me all the way to Yabbville. He
Dr.
said,
Sebu.
hello, Abby Petty. Hmm. Then he now said, so they both have issues. It must be great to be a judge. Doctor said, no, two people can have issues at the same time, but one person's issue is bigger than the other. If the other person doesn't have issues, I'll tell the one that has issue, you have issue. Then he now said, so you approach now. This is the word I didn't get. Please, can someone explain? Is S dash dash CHS? What is that?
CHS. Is that supposed to be a word or something?
Yeah, it's like a word, but I don't know what it is. So he
Oh.
said you approach whatever with logic. Is okay now. Logic, you can't fight
No
facts.
idea.
I don't know what that word means, but maybe bitches or whatever. But but this is the thing. You can't fight facts. Facts will always be facts. You can't it's like I was watching this thing on Instagram where some people were trying to prove that the earth was flat. And they
Mm.
did about 7 different experiments. And every single experiment proved that the earth was round. So they did everything. They will do it. It will come around. They say, no, we are not satisfied with this answer. They'll do another experiment. It will come out that the earth is round. They'll be like, no, 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 we are not satisfied. Seven different experiments, and they still were not satisfied. There's even a film about it on
Yeah.
Netflix. So you can't fight facts. So if the facts of the case is there and you call me, or is happening in my before, and I lay down the facts, you can't fight with logic. You just can't. So then
But
Dr.
don't,
Senu
yeah,
said, sorry, let me just read Dr. Senu,
it's
then
okay.
Laraba go on. So back to bullying in the family. Yes, it happens. However, terms, in legal workplace terms, there is a very clear definition of bullying, coercion, and intimidation. This is why it can be hard to prove. Okay. However, the definition also allows for how it made the victims feel despite the apparent intention of the perpetrator. So this is workplace. Okay, so legal terms. But what bullying in the family? Oh yeah, Laraba, continue.
No, what I was saying, I mean, I haven't really, when I was referring to bullying in the family, it wasn't really it's not my family, it's just something that I've seen. But I think that the thing is that, obviously, personally for me, I've experienced bullying in terms of my peers. But one thing that I was just going to say was,
Oscar.
I think that, the most of the time, I think the issue is, and if I can refer to what Mrs. Ibi just said, sometimes when people see that you are not going to take their bull, then that's
Mm-hmm.
when they relent. Because one thing that I realized, there was one time, I don't know whether I told you this, but basically there were a group of girls bullying at me at my school, and I just had enough. Because this girl, it wasn't just her, it was like 5 of her other cockroach army, that were just bringing me down. So I just said, listen, I'm not going to take this anymore. You are not going to do this. We almost had like a fist fight. This was like at the last year of school. But then this is the thing. She came back. I'm sure I've told you this, but anyway, but she came back and then she said she was sorry, but she was a bit drunk. But I think that the thing is that it's knowing how to communicate. Because the thing about bullying is that you need to be able to communicate effectively. And like I said, Mrs. Ibudu communicated very, very well in a way that she just silenced everybody. But I think that's the thing. Knowing how to stand up for yourself and knowing how to communicate.
But in every group, Sister Bidu, why you say something?
Yes, I wanted to contribute to what
Yeah.
a friend of mine living here, and when her mother was in Nigeria, before the mother died, so her daughter was the one looking after the old woman, and the member of the family don't even have good mind for that. I think they went ahead and asked the young lady a question that has to do with what the elderly woman asked her to do. And she said, "Oh, excuse me, you can ask Mama now." So the person who asked her the question, the fourth, that one happens to be the junior sister to her mom. So to let you know, there's bullying in the family, and one of the cousin or nephew came, joined the lady to beat that young lady up, and all of them were just folding their hands. They beat her out of that lady. They throw all her passport into the canal. They throw her henna into canal. They throw all her belongings because they don't want her to stay with the other woman. So, and when the mother was angry, I said, "Look, it is not your daughter they are angry with. It is you. It is transfer of aggression I see, because for all of them to stand there looking at the other young guys beating that boy, that lady. You see how the family bully them. I mean, bully one because she's the one that have upper hand to look after their mother, and they just, I think, I don't know your opinion about that one.
You see, I'm
But
so you see that kind thing. I'll forget that they are family. Oh, Olokpa go carry everybody. I will completely forget that they are family. Which one is
really, her
ah?
daughter,
Olokpa mark everybody.
the daughter took a drastic step and reported them to.
Laraba, you stuck.
Yeah, but the mother
No,
is
no.
there. The mother is
You,
right there to
you were
I
in one
mean,
join the
position
thing.
like this.
no, I'm just taking
No,
it
but
in.
seriously, once it comes to family fighting and then they are ganging up to beat up one person,
That's
story
Yeah,
ridiculous.
has
dear.
finished though,
It can get out of
right?
control. You know,
That's the
like
thing.
I never take sides. I try and sort of remain neutral because it gets
I
really
have something to say. Yeah.
complicated. It can get because then they start saying, because it's like, is it Chinese whispers, right? Is it they say when the story gets and then it gets and then it sort of gets kind of it's not really the truth. You know how it started because the story gets told over and over again. Does that make sense? So
Yeah,
it kind of
yeah.
gets diluted, and
So
then it
then
just
pepper
gets
and
a bit filler.
tomatoes and onions get added into the
Yeah,
story.
exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
yeah, this is it, Abby. Yeah, totally.
Exactly.
But
Mm.
one has to
Well,
be very careful that you don't become a bully by you become a
Because
bully
you were born.
complicitly. You have to be very careful because
Mm.
especially in a
Mm.
case where like what Sister Ibitu just said now about somebody being beaten up. Ah,
Mm.
in my
That is
presence.
crazy.
No, use your
No.
mouth and discuss. Use your mouth and discuss the
Mm.
matter.
Jesus. I like that.
Although
yeah.
I have been in a situation where I honestly want to pounce on a family member and beat the living bijuju out of
Mm.
them. Like the only way
Juju.
any sense is going to enter your brain is that I beat it into you. I know I have felt like that
Wow. Oh,
on
banging the head
several
together. That's what I feel
occasions.
like these two family members. It's just like sort your shit out, because it's affecting further down generations, brothers, sisters, grandkids. It's just so this is how
But
it
me,
goes,
I don't
Yeah.
go
unfortunately.
lie. If people can conveniently forget that I'm their family member and beat me, me too, I will conveniently forget that we're family member and police will carry
Exactly.
everybody.
I think that's just ridiculous. But
Mm.
I think that the thing is that it's but there was something that came to mind. What about in-laws? Because that is a very unique
I'm
Mm.
not married,
phenomena.
so I cannot put mouth in that one.
Ah, I forgot. No, but even if you're not married to them,
Sister
sometimes
Emilio is dying with laughter. It's
no,
true.
but
DWL.
I'm not married. I cannot put mouth in that one.
no, but you know the reason why I asked this is because from what I've seen, and I don't know whether you guys watch something called 90 Day Fiancés, the bullying that you can get, and as a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, who her in-laws, it wasn't just bullying, it was psychological torture. I think there's a difference between bullying somebody and psychological trauma. And these are people, it's not like, especially if you're in close contact with them, it's not like you can go home. And usually, obviously, they're very much in every sense related to your partner or your spouse who you're next to. So it's so overwhelming. I think that it would be interesting to talk about it especially because everybody knows. I mean, Abby, Mrs. Ibudu, and obviously, Sasha, I'm sure it's the similar thing because we're all from the same root. Usually if you're with these sort of environments, Nigerian environments, Caribbean environments, it's difficult to sort of to say things, and to say how you feel to your in-laws because, you're in such close contact that it's so difficult. I mean, I know people who have many stories to tell, even me, like, but I didn't date a guy long, but it was a really complicated situation in my part. They basically didn't like me because of my skin color, and they were black themselves. So I was too. So,
How does,
and you just,
It's so annoying.
is this like a tribal thing, do you think, Liberna?
No, it wasn't a Nigerian. It was just a guy that was just from another country. He was from another African country, but I don't want to say. But and it's just, and the thing, like I said, I didn't date him long, but I know that there are people that go through those situations, and it's just like what do you do when somebody just has a problem with you because you're not the right person for you're not the right person for their son. And you can't do anything, especially if you have a baby. That's the thing. With the case of my friend, she had a baby.
So a baby has already entered. Do they want to throw the baby inside bush?
But that would also be.
That is why you see. But this is the thing. Yoruba say something. They say what you will not accept as a rich person is from poverty. You start to reject it. You see, the problem with a lot of, and it's a problem, but it's also something you can't blame a lot of African women for. There's this pressure, societal pressure to be married. That if you are not married, you have not yet achieved anything in your life, you are nobody. It takes a lot to be able to break away from it. Every time I think I am free of worrying whether I'm married or not, something will happen that I will be like, am I truly free, or am I trying to just make myself feel good? Because something, a frisson or something inside my chest will be like, if I was married, this thing won't happen.
Yeah, but then there may be troubles.
Because
you may
I know
have
that there's a
mother-in-law
certain respect that they give to married women that I know some people naturally will never give to me just because I'm not married, And I'm like, so now man now calls me this kind of insults. See this insults where I just call it now hot insults, And I'm like, oh, if only I had a husband or something like that. But then I'll shake it off and I'm like, but I'm telling you that thing. You ask yourself, is it, because of this situation of being unmarried that is letting this happen? Because when you see some women go into some relationships, the signs are there. The mother looked at you one kind when you came into the house. The siblings talked to you one kind. The guy himself was doing one kind, and you still shook your head and go have a baby. Like, are you what is the color of your problem? Sister Ivitu, you want to say something?
Oh God, what is
Sister Ivitu, talk now.
You're not welcome in the family. You don't need to go further. Just back
out. Exactly.
You know what? That is such a good point. Because I realized, you know what? There was one time I was thinking to myself, would I actually be with somebody whose family didn't expect me? As I said, I'd be foolish. Because I think one thing about, bullying and just bad behavior is that there comes a point where you have to leave. And you have to say, listen, I don't want to get into a fight, but I have to leave. because there's no point being around. But then I was thinking, well, if I was in love, I said, love is hard. It's easy to
Thunder
find.
kill love.
Yes, exactly.
Thunder light loves yash.
Because there are crazy
Love has
people.
already, love has been taken away from the Titanic Ocean. I think
Exactly.
that's where the love is.
Titanic goes
That's
crazy.
Love,
Titanic Ocean.
love
I love
fell
it.
in the
Love
Titanic
lost.
and sank with it.
Yeah, it does.
Oh no, honestly, peace is
There's
it's
nothing
not
like
worth
peace.
sacrificing your peace. Even if
Mm.
you're alone.
Ah,
That's the thing.
love that you
Even
see,
if you're not married.
love that is not making me feel good
Oh
in a situation
Yes.
that
I
can't
don't
feel
feel
good in the
secure in
future.
your
no. Because the funny thing is, and this is the thing that I've realized, especially if you're with a guy whose family are rotten, his family will always come first. Even if he tells you,
Mm.
oh, no, don't worry, I love you, I love you. His
Totally.
family
Yeah.
will always come first because he's known his family for longer than he has known you.
Ah,
So his
you make a very
actions,
good point
will,
there.
you know,
Yes.
his actions will always show up. So and this is the thing. Sometimes people are like, I see, oh, it's so demoralizing because I watched a Dr. Phil episode of a mother-in-law who this woman was like a whole 60 years old. You'd think that she knew better. 60. And she was acting like she was a spoiled brat. She said, I just don't like her. I just the way she looks at me. She looks at me and I don't want to be around her. And then she was the one that was crying. And everybody was like, why are you crying? It's like, I just don't like her. She's taking me away from my son. She's taking
Mm.
away from my son. Oh my God, I hate her. I hate her.
Dr. Sid is just giving me a left, right, and center.
And,
Dr.
You
Sid,
can't
stop bullying me.
compete with a mother. I wouldn't want to compete with any man's mother anyway. That's too much like
that's
hard
the
work.
thing. Because
You
you
know.
will always, you're
Mm.
always
This is
gonna
the thing.
lose.
This is one other thing I've come to realize. If a man, you see, there are two ways that men defend their women that will let you know whether this marriage is going to be happiness or misery. Because if the guy's mother comes into the room and goes, what's that bitch doing here? I don't like her. I said, oh, mom, don't say that about her. Yeah, the girl is sitting there. Oh, the so-called bitch is
Yeah,
sitting there. Like, oh, mom,
yeah,
don't say
that's
that. That's like, oh,
disgusting.
no. You don't tell me that in my house. Like, mom, I don't like it. Babe, you know what? In fact, this is unacceptable. Mom, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Come on, don't talk to me. Oh, okay, you know what? I'll just take what I want to take and then I'm going. Babe, don't worry, we'll leave soon, eh?
Mm.
You know what? Just write your application letter to Pain because it's going to be coming plentiful. But if the woman walks into the room and goes, I don't like that bitch, just go, excuse you, do not speak about my woman like that, mom. With all due respect,
Exactly. Yeah,
let that
exactly.
never repeat itself again.
Yeah,
You tell me, mom, I am not joking. Don't ever.
exactly.
Babe, let's go. But babe,
Exactly.
let us go. You have set down something. The mother would think twice because she'll be like, my son
Exactly.
embarrassed me in front of that girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the girl will be like, Mama stood for me, dear papa. But the guy has made it clear. I'm not saying don't fight,
Yeah,
though,
set a
but
boundary.
not in my presence.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that will now, then the girl herself now knows how to manage herself, that she and the mother-in-law will never be left alone in the same room.
Exactly.
You know?
No, but Abby, that is such a relevant point that you've made because what was the program? I think it was like Mum versus Daughters-in-Law or something. It's the show on TLC, and it's like
I love a mama's boy.
Yeah, something like that.
Hey, that program irritates me to my soul.
Oh, but I felt horrible from the pit of my stomach because the funny thing is that I know, for example, my parents have whatever views they have on life, but I know for a fact that my mother and my father would not look at the person I'm dating and say, who is that B word? They would never ever do that. So if I'm in a situation where somebody else who calls themselves a mother does that to me and the guy just sits there, that would be It.
You don't even have to tell me. Now me go tell myself.
Oh, because the thing is that in a lot of homes, it's toxic,
Hmm.
and they don't want it. Like the guy that I was dealing with, he was talking about his home being toxic, and that any small ounce of drama would just. The thing is, it's almost like, what's the best way to describe it? It's almost like you being the new kid, like in high school, a new kid on the block, or
Hmm.
prey. These are all vipers and tigers, and they're just scavenging, scavenging. Then they see fresh meat, and then
Hmm.
get about the problems with themselves. Then they'll put it on that person. So I think that when it comes to that, if a guy says, "Oh, my wife doesn't really like you," then I say, "Yeah, this isn't gonna work."
You know what? I
Sorry,
think we should
because I'm not
do. We
competing with
should
them.
do
I'm
the
not competing with
in-law.
another woman.
Oh, sorry. I on my side they said it was saying that
Bully.
you ain't talking again. Sorry. I think next week we should do in-law edition
Ugh.
In,
because the story goes
yeah,
sweet.
I did
We'll do in-law edition. But you know what?
Mm.
There's also one other thing.
yeah.
Have you ever found yourself in a situation where this person is supposed to be your so-called bestie? But it'll
Oh,
be like, oh, maybe you go to a party together and you'll be like, oh, hello. My name is Abby. We'll meet my friend Lara, but she's the ugly one amongst us. But oh, she's got a personality that's just sweet. And you're
oh
like,
wow.
Abby,
No,
that
that's
was not
never
that. I
happened
was
to me.
just joking. Oh, why are you so sensitive?
You know
Not
what?
that I
There
like
are
you like
narcissists.
and you're sensitive, Yash.
You know what? You know what I've realized though, Abby. There are. I had an experience where there was a narcissist who was a friend. This is the thing. You have to
Mm,
be very, very careful for those people who claim, and they all, just like when it comes to romantic relations, it's the same dynamic, but it also can happen in platonic relationships. They always come when things are not going well, and because they know that you are going through a hard time, they kind of
mm,
want to have leverage and control over the situation. But then because you are so deep in your own, your own negative experiences, you don't notice it. But those are the people that you should watch, because they themselves are also bullies. And they themselves also, but it's more of a psychological thing. They will bully you not necessarily with insults, but because they know that you're in a vulnerable position, they will take advantage of that. That's also a very interesting dynamic, because there was one that was in my life for a long time, you know. But that's the thing. It's just, I think the thing to always be aware of is your worth, your self-worth. Not be eager to please as well, because I think that's the
You
target.
know, we talked
If you are
about
sure
that. We
that
talked about
last
that
week,
eager to peas.
yeah, you should
Sasha,
not be.
what
Hmm.
about situations where what do you think about situations where the person is not saying anything negative like what Laraba said, but
Hmm.
the person is making it minimizing what you're going through and going, ah, oh, your mom is ill. Oh, you think that is a problem? If me my entire family got hit by a bus, yeah, they're fine. No, but when you think about in the scheme, like they're always
Yeah.
something is always worse happening to them
So
than you.
someone's always, yeah. I did have a friend like that once, but that's down to her mental state of being.
So
Like,
I should not say that
it,
anybody that does anything like that is mad.
yeah, this is the thing. Like, I was perfectly calm about it, but I knew she had some serious issues. Because obviously things weren't right in her life. There's that's a form of bullying as well. Like you was saying, it's all the psychology of it all, and it
Yeah.
was like, you know, when you get friends where they're obviously not happy for you because everything's going right in your life and not in
Mm.
theirs. So it's like they'll take it out
Yeah.
on you, but they'll do it a very clever way.
Oh, definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you
Definitely.
just,
Sasha,
Definitely.
remember my birthday
hmm.
party that you came for?
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Someone
Mm,
that I invited,
mm,
right? I invited the person. This person, things were really bad for me before that party. You remember how things were bad for me. I mean, Sasha saw me at the times when I was in a wheelchair. I was using crutches at one point in time,
mm,
and all of that. It was really bad for me physically, mentally, psychologically, every way. It was bad. And this
mm,
person was around, and when someone comes around and is doing you kindness, but you can sense the insults inside the
That's
kindness.
it.
Like, I'm
That's
being
it.
nice to you, but I will use style and abuse you inside too. Like, oh, look at your miserable life. Isn't it just
That is it.
it's amazing, how someone's life can be this miserable. Wow.
Oh
And you
yes,
can sense
yes,
that it's all
yes.
about them feeling wonderful about
Superior.
themselves, that things are going right for them. Then
Exactly.
as
Exactly.
God, or as God would do it, and as the law, as the law of
Yeah.
circular returns works, what goes up will come down, what comes down will go up, that kind of
Absolutely.
thing. Then things turn around
Yeah.
for you. So things turned around for the better, and I invited this person. They did not come,
Yeah.
and I've not
Yeah.
said anything to me since, just
Yeah.
mm.
because my life turned better.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I can't I
That's it.
can't talk down at this person anymore,
Anymore. You can't give
because
them the
things are
power.
better now.
Yeah. It's that if I could also come in, I think that that's something that people who have been victims of bullying need to watch out for. There are people, I like to call it like the savior syndrome. They always want
Mm.
to feel that they're saving you. Because this is what I always believe, right? And this may be somewhat harsh, but I believe that people should be friends with people who tell them, listen, you need to save yourself. You need to have something of yourself. Not because people are being mean, but because people can take advantage of your weakness and use that as a way and means to make themselves feel better. Because I mean, I've seen it and I've experienced it. These, and like I said before, usually they're very quiet, they're very docile, and then they make comments like, "Oh, I feel so sorry for you." There's a difference between, say, "Oh, I understand what you're going through and I can help you, and I've been through it. I'm going to help you. I will give you this." But if it is that they're detaching themselves from you, and they're not telling you about what they're going through, and they're like, "Oh, my life is so amazing, but what you're going through isn't it?" Those are the people that you need to watch out for, because those are the people who play mind games, because you're
Mm.
already in that vulnerable
yeah.
state.
It's not
Mm.
what you
You're
say, it's what
already
you
in that.
don't say. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Yes.
I
it's
know what you're saying.
exactly, Sasha. It's not what you
Mm,
say, it's
Say
what you
what
don't
you don't
say.
say.
yeah. I've
Yeah.
been thinking about this a
Mm.
lot lately, actually, for some reason. Yeah.
Sister Ibidu, what do
Like when there's
you
no
what do
reaction
you
to.
say about people who they are not, this thing that Laraba just said about, oh, that is good to have somebody who tells you, get up, you can save yourself, duh, 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 and I'm not going, like, get up and do it yourself. Does that always work?
I think it depends whether that person's ready to accept it at the time
I
or
can't hear
not.
you, nobody can hear you.
And what is, I think
No, she
someone
says.
giving you a word of encouragement to come back to your
Mm,
field.
Can you
That's
hear
how I
her?
see it.
just about. Mm,
Can
I
you
don't know
hear
what's
me?
going on with your mic. Oh,
Oh my
no.
goodness.
I think she said it's about that someone encouraging you is good, but that, I think that's how far I
Mm,
heard.
Yes.
Hello?
So when
Oh,
you hear
okay.
people saying that, they are trying to encourage you to come back to your field, telling you that you are able to do this, inspiring you that you can do it. So we normally use that language when you are doing if you are being a physiotherapist, when you are doing physiotherapy, I mean, just to come and mobilize somebody from
Mm,
which to encourage him or her. Oh, you can do better than that. And no matter how horrible he's doing, you say, oh, you are doing great.
mm,
Yes,
yeah.
just to make you. be confident in yourself that you can do this. That's the way I
Mm.
see it.
But would you
But
also say that it is important to note?
said, but someone said that came to you say, "Oh, why is your life so miserable?" The person
Yeah,
will be weighing you down, and you'll be looking at
exactly.
yourself and say, "Oh, is it true? Will I be
It
able
is
to stand
true.
on my
Yeah,
feet again? Will I be able
yeah,
to do this again?" So they
yeah.
believe that the end has come for that person. So it is the surprise for them to see you standing on your feet. You can do
Exactly.
many things, and they say, "Oh, this is not what we wish for her," because they don't wish, they don't want good things to come. Not everybody you see around you that want you to be okay. They might be
Mm.
you, they might eat with you, they might do everything with you, but deep down in them, say, "Oh, she's this, as she's supposed to be living in a miserable life," and they will tell you that.
Yeah, right. I actually
Mm,
have met someone who said to me, you're looking so nice these days, oh. I was not
exactly.
used to seeing you look rubbish.
Can you see? That's a low key insult.
Like, then in fact I had to contact another friend. This person said, Abby, you're looking so good these days, you're not looking deranged anymore.
Can
I
you
actually had to
imagine?
tag another friend to look at the comment that, am I running mad, or is this actually a diss? And the person was like, sure. I was like, so
Oh.
what does deranged look like? At what point was I so I don't say looking at photographs. I started posting photographs. I say, is this when I was looking deranged? No. Is this when I was looking deranged? No. So when was I looking deranged? Because yes, it was amusing, but it was also concerning that somebody
Mm.
actually looked at me and thought deranged.
Yeah, that's because they wanted to see you. But could I just say, Doctor Sini, God bless you, thank you. That comment is really
I
lovely.
beg, yeah, I put it there
But
so that your head is said.
no, but if I could just clarify, because I don't want to come across wrong. I'm not trying to sort of say that, I'd be the sort of friend that's like, oh, come on, buck up. But it's just understanding it's that balance that, good friends don't want to
Laraba is feeling
see
wise
you.
now. Hmm.
No, no, but it's just a case of understanding that you don't want to stay stuck in your position. No friend
Sorry,
wants
oh,
to see
sorry,
their
Laraba.
friend.
Doctor said, no, I'm telling Nana.
Yeah. Anyway, I
Continue.
said my
Sorry,
piece.
sorry, sorry. Continue.
No. I mean, what I was, you know what? I'll tell you a story. Basically, it's a short one. Don't worry. So there's this comedian called Monique. Who was going through quite a bit. I don't know if you guys know her, but basically she's a popular comedian. And then Patti LaBelle was her friend, and she was going through so much, and she was just crying in front of everybody. And then Patti LaBelle said, "Listen, don't let these people see you cry. Don't let them see you crumble, because that's what they want. They want to see, especially she's a black woman, so she's stereotyped, to these people. So they were saying, so Patti LaBelle was telling her, don't let them see you cry. And then Monique was thinking actually that was harsh at the time, but then she sat down with herself and she said, actually, I see what she was trying to say. I think the thing is that vulnerability is not a weakness, but it can be exploited in the wrong way. So you need to channel that in a way that doesn't make you too vulnerable to the wrong people, you know? And I think that the thing is, anybody can rise up, anybody can do something for themselves. You get me? So,
Yeah, it can be a bit of a worrying thing, and this is the other thing about so-called friends who, because there are some of us who wander this world very, very naively. We just go through the world, we're happy, and because we are happy in our own little corner, we think everybody else is happy. And meanwhile, there are some people that, they have problems with you or whatever, and then something will not happen, and the person who has a problem with you will now say, "Hey, you bitch! I have a problem with you. I hate your face." And then
I
your
love the way you
so-called friend will
describe
not
it.
be like, your so-called friend will not be like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, actually, you can be annoying. I get where that person is coming from." And you be like,
wow.
"What?" And Sometimes,
Two-Face.
let me true, they are annoying. But
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
are, but because they're living in your own tiny little world, you didn't know. But my own is, you're supposed to be my friend. The moment I start being annoying, when is you supposed to come here and be like, what? Like, you're annoying. Stop it. Why did you have to wait for someone to say, I hate your face, and I hate your
I hate your
face,
face. I hate your face. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, man. That is
Uh,
funny. Life.
yes.
Doctor said, leave me
Yeah.
alone. I'm telling Nana.
I don't think people goad me to get mad at them, you know.
What?
Like, I think people like they sort of like want me to get mad at them because I'm such a wind-up merchant, you know, I can't help it. Like, but you know when someone really like, yeah, they're like pushing your buttons because they want you to just go, you know.
So you
Yeah.
like pressing people's buttons.
But I'm gonna remember that. I hate your face. Like my mum said to me the other night when I was winding her up, and she goes, "You think you're clever, don't you?"
I know, no, it's not even just you think you're clever, then you just go, me no, me
Excuse
no.
me.
I've had
Yeah.
a slipper thrown at me for that before. Like, you think you're
Yeah.
smart? All right,
Yeah.
yes, care.
Mhm. It's a good job I was on the phone. I would have got one lick in my headpiece.
Yes, care your head. You think
I
you're
know,
smart?
so
Yes,
no matter
care.
where you are as well, they just connect. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Life.
we are this close to running down, ending the show because, well, we have people who have determined that they're only going to stay in the comment section. They won't come on the show, gang gang. But I'm very grateful for everyone who shows up. You too, you guys are amazing. You're phenomenal. I really appreciate it. For everyone who is listening or joining in or putting in comments, I really appreciate each and every one of you. I wish we could have more and more people joining up, of course, because then, but don't worry, everything will be on the up and up very soon. And hopefully, we'll be able to have more and more people joining us. But I think we've actually, dealt with the topic to an extent. Like, talked about it because sometimes it's this whole thing of we don't talk about it. It's almost like that song, we don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah.
And yet
Yeah.
the only thing we talk about is really Bruno, isn't it? We don't talk about it, and then you see that everything that that person does, everything that is that person's life is permeated by this thing that they don't want to talk about. And I believe very much in dialogue. Sometimes I believe in too much dialogue. I want to dialogue and nobody wants to dialogue with you. Like, leave me alone. I don't dialogue. Let's not dialogue. Well, you know what? I think dialogue is good because it's a good release for the person who's talking, it's a good release for the person who's listening, and people pick up things. I mean, I picked up things from the three of you already. So some really, really important stuff that you guys have said, and I'm sure that I'm not the only one. I'm looking at my phone because sometimes people can't send me messages saying, no, they're watching, and someone's already said, I'm enjoying the show, said, I'm really enjoying the show, even though I am not, able to join, but I'm enjoying the show as I'm watching it. So don't think that you're just talking in the abstract. People are actually watching, they're learning, they're hearing what you're saying. Some people are actually going to, I can bet you that later on this week, people will be like, you know what? I was thinking about what one of you were saying, and I realized that I'm actually in an abusive situation. I'm being bullied, and I didn't even know that I was being bullied. Because again, sometimes we rationalize these things to ourselves, and we just say, "Oh, that's how they are. Oh, they're joking with me. Oh, they like me. It's their way of showing that they like me." And then you realize that no, actually they don't. These people actually hate me. You know,
Mm.
Sister Ibuju, you were shaking your head, yes?
You're right. You're right with what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
I say you're correct with what you're saying.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you. It's nice to know that I'm right. I can be wise too, Doctor Sedu.
It's what
But no,
experience, I've experienced it in the working place, but oh no, I'm a boiling person. I boil up with them and they know, oh, this woman will not tolerate this.
mm.
I
So
like
Yes.
that.
If you're
I want
afraid
to
of
also
no,
go
I
into
don't want to
that.
lose my job.
You were saying sorry?
If you're afraid of oh, if I do this, they might send me here, they might stop me working. I don't think of that. I stand on my feet,
Yeah,
I maintain my dignity, I don't bloody care what will come off with. There's a lot of jobs for me outside there. I might not
exactly.
came to any agency. So don't just take advantage of me. Don't see me as somebody you can just trend up to turn
Mm,
me to. No, I won't take that.
mm.
I want to
Before
ask a
you do anything,
question.
I've
I'm trying
already
to
taken
think
my.
of the most delicate way to ask it. Do you think that maybe sometimes you being look, I nobody talk nonsense to me. I will flog you, flog your mother, flog everybody, and nothing will happen. That kind of behavior. Do you think that maybe somebody else can interpret it like is she the only one? All of us here too are here, we're doing our job now. Why are you bullying us with your I don't take nonsense? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
No,
I,
I understand,
I,
but if the person involved in particular has not been doing it to most workers, this is a person that has
yeah,
attacked many workers and they're afraid of her. But when I came in, they were also happy. They say, "Oh my
Mm,
goodness, we see someone to rescue us from this woman's hand." And they
mm,
have
okay, yeah.
cancers. They have cancers. She was the leader, and she has other two leaders, two other ladies with her. I just called. I said, "Look, you don't come here to gossip. Can you go and do your job and don't come to me and be telling me rubbish?" So they know me when they see me coming and they're gossiping, they just dispatch themselves.
Mm,
They won't do their
yeah.
job, and they will be pulling you around. One call himself, she call herself activities. The other one work as a cleaner, and this one is a carer like me. So three of them conspire together to bully people around in the care home, which I don't
Mm,
tolerate that.
mm,
I was friendly with them.
yeah,
When people say, "Hey, don't go close to them," or
exactly.
they put you into trouble, I said, "Don't worry. If you call someone thief, if I've not seen that person stealing goods, I will not accept it until I move closer to them. I got to know them. When they throw that into me, I throw them back. I throw it back to them.
Exactly.
They say, "Oh, this one I think." So that's how it is.
okay, thank
Yeah,
you
I'm
very
being
much for
friendly with.
that.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Laraba, you were shaking your head, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I agree with Mrs. Ibudu's strategy completely. I always have a say: if you don't put your hand in the mouth of a lion, then it won't bite you.
Mm.
So this is the thing.
But you might
She
be
was
trying to
not. She
brush his
was
teeth.
yes. Well, that's the thing is that it is somebody else's hand. Because this is the thing, from what Mrs. Ibudu has said, she went to her job, she did her job quietly. This is somebody that was notorious, that was looking for trouble. Like she was
Mm.
looking for trouble. It wasn't that, Mrs. Ibudu now went to this other woman. I was saying, she came to her and she read her the right act. And you see, the thing is that she's going to be less vulnerable now because people around her have seen what will happen if you A, make trouble for this woman, and B, the thing is that she's also communicated that, listen, you need me, so you better not mess with me. That I could easily find
Mm.
another job, because there's so many people in jobs who feel that if they let go of that job, it's the end of the world. But Mrs. Ibudu didn't do that. She said that, listen, I know my value in this place. I know my value. You know my value. So either you treat me with respect or you just leave me alone. And now, this is the thing, she's not a target. So that's a good strategy to know your worth. If you know your worth, then nobody can mess with you. And I think that that's part and parcel of how to sort of shield yourself from bullying.
Yeah. Well said, well said. Okay, Sasha, I want you to read out the comments. So I will be highlighting them. And
Okay.
if you wouldn't mind reading them out for us, or do you mind?
It says,
Wait, hold on. I'm going to the beginning,
hmm,
and then I'll start highlighting them for you. Okay, so this was before she joined us. She said, "Good
Mm,
evening, Abby and everyone." So we can skip that. Okay, take it from this point.
okay. Good evening and all. Hands pink waving.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was, but she was like saying good evening. I think it's the computer interpreting the emoticon
The
emoji.
emoji. Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Okay, so
It
I said
says, uh, good evening, sis. What's YGD? Please join
that's
us.
her initials.
All right. Okay.
So I said, please join us. And then she was listening. I agree with something Laraba said.
Sarcastic.
Sarcastic.
Oh, then I said exactly because I agreed to.
Yeah.
Then this is definitely what Laraba said. Because Laraba was saying that the woman said, my spirit does not agree. So she was like, spirit care.
Spirit of one.
So this is another lady who's what is she watching on YouTube? Is that what they're saying?
Yes,
Is
who said
Uh,
that the noise is not coming from my end? So this one she said, not me, the noise is not from me.
That is funny.
Then she said good vibes. Then Dr. Senu came and started giving me a law of the first order. So read it out.
Abby
Hello,
Petty.
Abby, Patty.
Abby Petty. Then imagine, Sister Yemi was supposed to be supporting me. She too, she joined in the laughter.
So they both have
Yes.
issues. It must be great to be a judge.
He was mocking me here when I said that I would be like, this is your fault and this is your fault. So he was like, oh, so they both have issues.
Safe.
So apparently that means sex.
Oh,
Yeah.
or you pro with logic. Is okay.
You approach sex with logic. That's
Mm.
basically what he was saying. So then,
So back to the bullying in the family. Yes, it happens. However, in the legal workplace terms, there is a very clear definition of bullying: coercion and intimidation. This is why it can be hard to prove. Yeah, that's true.
that's
Mm.
true.
People don't want to stand up like you have reiterated again and again, Abby. There's just like things. No one ever wants to speak up. However, the definition also allows for the how it made the victims feel, despite the apparent intention of the perpetrator.
Yeah. So you might claim that, oh, I was not being bullying. I was actually just saying that, I was like, well, I don't care what you intended. This is how I
Hmm.
felt. Which can still be like, because if you go and meet somebody who already was waiting for you to enter their trap, you know, they'll be like, yes, you made me feel shit, even though that's not, but because it gives them the opportunity to say, you made them feel some type of way so that you can get in trouble. So it's a two-edged sword, I think.
Hmm.
A phonetic.
Exactly.
Sex.
Sex. That was the
What
word.
is
Sex.
this?
Sex.
Oh,
Without fight belief, but you can argue unless it's fact.
oh yeah. I don't understand this one really. You can't fight belief, but you can argue facts unless the facts are unproven.
Well, is Doctor saying no? I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna bother myself because I didn't understand it myself either. Because he said you can't fight belief, which I get. Because again, what you believe can be different from what I believe, right? But
Ah,
if fact is only fact
Okay.
if it's proven, so
Mm.
how do you unprove fact? Because it's only fact if it's proven, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know.
right.
roaches.
It was when I thought, yeah, it was when I was talking about when you squash one cockroach and then five come out.
I do.
Exactly.
When it's like
So
people
you
want
wrote.
to
I
defend.
do think, yeah, the truth can be very subjective. Like, I've
Do
come
that.
across a lot of situations like
Yeah,
that,
that's true.
to be fair.
What does it mean?
What does
Cattle?
that mean, cattle dung?
I don't know. What you
Poop, cattle poop, cow poop.
Yeah, but I don't know what it means related to what I was saying about the cockroaches.
Hmm.
And then he said,
Yeah.
go on.
Oh,
The
it says
truth.
the truth is that there are alpha males and females in many environments. They are sometimes intimidating, sometimes they do it on purpose, and other they do not. Hmm.
Well, even when you know that you're an alpha person, because I think alpha people know that they're alphas, they have to be careful about their aura around people because unknowingly they can come across as intimidating. And once you know you're an alpha person with a strong aura, in a way,
Yeah.
sometimes you have to be considerate of other people around you that they don't feel oppressed by your presence. You know.
They're very good at hiding it, though. Because have you ever come across a situation where I don't always listen to what someone says about someone until I actually see it myself? But they
Mm.
could say something about someone and you think, oh, yeah, they're actually all right. And then you see them do it, what that person's been telling you about. But then they sort of like, how can I put it? They don't make it too obvious
Well,
because
but that's not
it's like
being an
my dad,
alpha. That's just being a sneaky person.
yeah, it's like my dad says, they know that you know that you know that they know. Have you ever heard that? My
I
dad's
like
got
that.
quite a few
They know
friends.
that you know that you know they know.
Yeah, like I have these like really in-depth conversations with my dad about stuff like this.
No, but I think like Laraba, I think Laraba is very much an alpha person. Um,
Mm.
but she also wouldn't force herself on an issue and be like, no, it's my way, the only way, and no other
Yeah.
way. You know, like
Mm.
she has that ebb and flow, right?
Mm.
So, but that's just being an alpha. That's not being sneaky. I think what you're describing is someone who is sneaky. Who,
Yeah,
like, if
like
someone says, "Be careful of that one," they lie a lot. But then you because they haven't said anything to you that seems like a lie. You're like, they're okay. And then until one situation come and they lie the lie, that even you're like, wow, woo, this is a lie, you know. So
just
that's being
like look at
This is a
sneaky.
something
It's
lie.
not being an alpha.
sly. What does it say? Some are only cunning and sly. Well, dealing with them depends on what methods they use. All of them, one needs to say no to the no. No to the no.
What does that mean?
Mm.
But I
It
think
sounds
it's
like a
about,
song.
when we see bad things happen around us to other people, and
Mm.
again, is how we handle it and say no.
Yeah.
you know Instead of being like, oh, I really don't want to be involved, or what's none of my business, like I said, sister Ibido, I don't know if you remember that story. Honestly, I read it in the papers where this bus driver was being beaten in his bus and people sat there, and I'm like,
Mm.
so you expected this guy to be beaten up, then he will adjust his uniform, he will wipe the blood from his eye, then he will channel to
That
the
is
car, to the
crazy, though.
engine, and be like, oh, yeah, let us go. And you sit down inside. I will drive all of you inside lagoon, I swear.
That is crazy.
It is.
I
It's.
am
I mean, where
driving
did this
Elabito
happen?
River Thames.
This is-
All of
It's
us, we are going
like
to swim today.
it just doesn't make sense, does it? Like in broad daylight, where that woman, and it happens a lot in India, where she got raped on the bus. Like,
Exactly.
what the freaking
Like,
hell's going on?
at what point
Like,
in time did it occur to anybody to be like, wait a minute, this is not right? Did
Yeah.
it not occur to one person? Like, I'm like, did it not occur to one person that, wait a minute, something is not right going on here? Or everybody was just so engrossed in their phones, they didn't even notice that the bus driver was being beaten up. What is the excuse?
well, surely he would have been screaming out in pain or something. What the?
She would have, I'm pretty sure, I was thinking
Hmm?
about this the other day. I think it's like a cult. Because
Hmm.
when I think back to school days, there were some girls, one girl in particular who was a bully. It was almost like she hexed people. Such that I'm even thinking of another girl who was just try to be this girl's friend. Just no if, no ands, no buts. And it's similar to a cult. I don't know whether you've
But
experienced
these
this
are
or seen this.
strangers on
It's
a
like a cult.
bus.
That may be true, but I still think it's that psychological kind of, they don't feel like they can do anything. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it. I'm not giving excuses.
Hmm.
I'm just
But what about
putting
people
it
who
out there.
then band together to just be against somebody? Person has actually done nothing wrong to them, but
Same thing.
because my friend doesn't like you, me too, I don't like you, and then they're just
It's
mean to
cult
you for no
behavior.
good reason.
It's
They're
cult behavior.
like,
It's cult behavior. You identify, because I studied cults. Cults operate in the exact same way. You identify somebody or something that's a target for no logical reason. Like, there will be one cult that will say that, eating oranges on a Tuesday is evil. But people don't question, people don't question, people will just agree with it. So yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
Sasha, continue.
Because yeah, okay, Abby. One should try to never take sides, but when it is clear there is an aggressor, say something or leave a situation. Saying nothing or taking sides could be enabling abusive behaviour.
Mm-hmm. You see? So those it's got nothing to do with me. At the end of the day, it's not my problem. The person is strong enough to handle the situation. You are actually enabling bad
Mm.
behavior, because when people who are doing something bad to somebody else do not get anyone to say to them, wait a minute, this is unacceptable behavior, this is bad, you shouldn't do it, then they just feel that it's right and they continue.
But what about if the person won't listen? Though this is the thing, and
No,
if they
but
just
not
want
when in a
to,
group. See,
yeah,
the thing is that in a group, think about it this way: in a group, so let's say there are 10 people who just come
mm,
against this one person, right? The person hasn't done anything to 9 of them. Maybe only one of them, the person's done something to, but 9 others have gathered. Then one of the 10 now just attacks that person from nowhere. And an 11th person who is on the outside, who is just a member of the group, goes, excuse me, that was totally uncalled for. Why did you do that? And
mm.
don't no, this person is this person is a bitch, this person is a shit, this person is a cow's head. And like, okay, so what did
A
they do?
cow's head.
I'm just coming up with what did they do that
Alright.
made you decide that they're a cow's head? And usually they don't have an answer. They don't have a serious answer to why
Yeah.
they hate the person. They can't tell you this is why I hate the
It's
person.
themselves that they hate. This is what it is, though. I mean, some people are like that, aren't they?
So, but how will they
Um,
know that it is themselves they hate if nobody confronts them? If everybody is
mm,
like, oh, that person that they're bullying can take care of themselves. Oh, I know that person, she can take care of herself. Then the people who are exhibiting bullying behavior will never know that they are actually being idiotic. And
mm.
that is my French for the day. Yes.
Mm.
Because nobody is saying, excuse me, why did you do that to that person? Why did you say that to that person? That's
Well, this
totally
is the
uncalled
thing.
for.
These bullies think that they're sort of making themselves stronger by bullying people that are weaker, or they
Yeah, but
think
that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's
now,
always one
but
person
they're
who then
not.
gathers others.
Yeah, I think it
So
makes
Like
you
a
tell you.
stronger
cult.
by supporting people,
And I like,
uplifting people.
cult.
it's a
Goes back to the
it's a
cult
cult.
mentality. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I
Cult
like,
mentality.
cult. I'm not asking any question. It is a cult. Or
It's
bange people.
yeah,
Okay, because we are running
It's
out of time, I'm gonna rush through
oh,
everything else. So the next
uh,
one is it's okay, doc. I don't know why I said that, but I said
okay,
it's okay, doc. Then it's in-laws. No, that is really sticky business.
sticky, say that again. Woo!
Sticky
For next
business. They
week.
said
Woo!
in all situations, wisdom is needed. There are some very soft-spoken, passive-aggressive, toxic people out there. It is true. Those people are masters at this thing because they are not shouting. So you're like, eh?
Mhm.
Then the
absolutely.
next one is wait, I'm trying to move it.
Philosophy. Hmm?
Is that
Wait, wait, wait.
it's It's not a woman only thing. Men who marry ladies from powerful rich fathers and mothers are constantly intimidated. That's true. It takes a very secure man to marry a woman who comes from a very rich family, because especially the girl's mother. Hell, God.
Mhm.
I have seen some rich girls' mothers, and I'm like, ah, God, if this is what money does to a person, I don't want part of it. Let me just be comfortable, because this kind of rich is ugly. Have you seen the kind of rich that makes you go, mm-mm?
Mm.
No, seriously, has anybody come across it before? When you
I just
see a
don't.
rich person and you go, ah, no, no.
Yeah,
But I
I got.
have. Wait, oh, I'm feeling a bit special. I know some rich people. I'm an idiot. Dr. Sani said,
What?
what is the color of love? Ask Billy Ocean.
Billy
Do I know
Ocean?
it?
Why?
And because
That's
he
Billy.
has a song called The Color of Love.
Ah, okay.
Ah.
Narcissistic
Then he
behavior
said
is
narcissistic behavior is low level epidemic, Jerry. Then Sister Yemi said Nikini, face turquoise covering eyes. This your emoticon translator is translating something we don't understand. And she said it happens in the higher institutions too. That is true. Definitely bullying happens there. It happens everywhere. Then Dr. Seni said it's a form of control, low level narcissistic traits. It is slow poison. Laraba is wise. I think I like her already. I am telling Nana.
she's very
Then he
Thank you,
wise.
said,
Dr. Sir.
why Abby? It's one big Mongalo family. No, I'm telling Nana.
Abby's still going.
I'm telling Nana. Say, Abby, I have a flu. Talking sets of a cough. It's off putting. Someone watching the show might take a fancy. My cough will kill those chances. Dr. Seno has more than two loves,
Oh,
though.
I get it now.
Eh-heh. He has more than two loves. So anybody that wants to take fancy, join the queue. Or as we say, join the queue. There is a queue that you are
Quay.
going to have to join.
Quay.
Then Dr.
Hey.
Susan said, jokes. I'm being gentle. Yeah, you weren't gentle. You were hanging me out to dry tonight. And
Joke.
then Abby, wise and right. Yeah, right.
Yes,
Then
you are
no, then he
wise.
left me and went for Sister Ibidu. And I said, Sister Ibidu, firepower.
Yeah, lovers
Yeah,
not
lovers, not
fighting. Ow.
fighters. And then he
Ah,
said, Hafiz Suru, I need to not come to your work to your work Sister Ibidu. The fear of God is real.
am I missing something here?
No, he
Oh
said
my
that
god.
that I have to.
Like,
I don't know how to explain Afisuru. He's like, oh, we have to be patient. He said, I need. Then he's now
uh,
saying to Sister Bidu that I better not come to your place of work because the fear of God is real. That she will scare him basically. She will tell
uh,
him off. He came. You know, he now said she did her job quietly. I did CCTV evidence.
CCTV is watching you everywhere.
So then, so he was not responding to what you were saying, Sasha. He said, "What I meant is facts are not absolute unless proven. That's why lawyers make money. Lawyers."
Yeah,
Then
people's pain.
she said bullshit. Oh, yeah. When Lara said bullshit, it was like cattle dung.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, I think I said bull crap, but
It's
maybe
amazing
you know.
how we catch on to the joke like
that's
20
all
minutes
dong.
after.
I'll have
Anyways,
to watch this
guys.
back again.
Exactly. Then we will get it. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Honestly, I really
Mm,
appreciate it. I think
thank you.
we've dealt with this. As I said, next week we'll be dealing with in-law edition. Me, my
Mm.
hand is not inside. I will leave the show to all of you. because I don't have in-laws. Thank the Lord. So till we do this again, thank you to everyone, to
Yeah.
Sasha, to Laraba, to Sister Ibino,
Please.
to Dr. Seno, to Sister Yemi Biamila, every single person. Someone's just sent me a private chat. Let me quickly see. Oh, okay, Sister Ibino said thank you so much. Bye. Bye. Well, and to everyone who's
Bye.
watched us, we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Until we do this again,
Bye,
same time
everyone. It's
next
been
week.
so
Don't
Bye.
forget,
fantastic.
we are now on 8:30 both Nigeria and UK time. So till we do that, take care and God bless. Bye.
Okay. God bless you all. Bye for now.
Hey,
Thank
it's after party. Don't
you.
go anywhere.